It's been a little over a day since the conclusion of the 2023 Monster Jam Superstar Challenge. And man oh man, what an event the California fans got to witness. So let's not waste any time and recap the Superstar Challenge. During the pit party, we got to see all of the new trucks up close and personal. I will say that, as expected, all of the trucks look so much better in person than the original renders. Though I am still not a fan of the Neon Gravedigger, and Nitro Zombie was a little too plain for me, but it still looked pretty nice. All of the other trucks look absolutely amazing, with Max D Nitro, El Toro Loco Nitro, and Gravedigger Nitro all being my favorites. Jim Coller's Nitro Avenger looked like a callback to World Finals 15, with a simple yet lovable design to represent Team Nitro during the show. In addition to that, all of the regular trucks ran either green walls and pink beadlocks for Team Neon, and lavender purple rims for Team Nitro, which honestly I really liked. Sure, it looked off on most trucks, but it was a small and neat touch that made it feel all the more cooler. Leading up to the show, we got some pretty interesting bits of info. As previously deduced on our podcast preview episode, only 6 drivers would compete in Best Trick, 3 from each team. Those 6 would be Tom Meents, Tyler Menninger, and Ryan Anderson for Team Nitro, and Adam Anderson, Camden Murphy, and Tristan England from Team Neon. The order would be decided by the winner of racing, with the winning team getting to go 2nd, 4th, and 6th, with the losing team taking 1st, 3rd, and 5th. The same idea would be used for freestyle, with the winning team getting the even spots, and the losing team getting the odd spots. To start the show off was the Thunderosaurus drop forward momentum backflip. Meents would drive through the inflatable Thunderosaurus head before hitting the ramp and getting a crazy twist, and landed straight on top of the Monster Jam stunt truck. This insane, crazy, and honestly scary moment thankfully had Tom Meents leave the truck unscathed, though definitely was probably shooken up. The same cannot be said for the stunt truck, because the state of which it was left in was completely toast. I mean, just look at the damage to that truck. After adjusting the stunt ramp to be utilized for freestyle, the show was underway with some awesome introductions. Racing proved to be fairly interesting. There was a clear advantage from the purple lane, as they would be able to swing it around to gun it to the finish. What looked to be an easy Team Nitro sweep turned into a Team Neon comeback almost immediately. In round 1, Todd the Duke defeated Tom Meents, Jamie Sullivan defeated Jim Coller, Chris Coller defeated Caleb Blood, Camden Murphy defeated Ryan Anderson, Tyler Menninger defeated Adam Anderson, Bryce Kenny defeated Lindsey Reed, Holt Stevens defeated Corey Rummel, and Tristan England defeated Armando Castro. In round 2, Todd the Duke defeated Jamie Sullivan, Chris Coller defeated Camden Murphy, Tyler Menninger defeated Bryce Kenny, and Colt Stevens defeated Tristan England. In their semi-finals, Todd the Duke defeated Chris Coller, and Tyler Menninger defeated Colt Stevens. The final round pitted Team Neon versus Team Nitro against each other in an important battle to see which team would gain the upper hand. In the end, Team Nitro would come out on top, with Tyler Menninger finally defeating his Anaheim curse and winning racing. The Best Trick competition was next, and many were interested to see what drivers were going to pull off. As was with the first ever Best Trick competition, many drivers had unsuccessful attempts, though they were still very innovative. Ryan Anderson honestly was robbed of a proper attempt. He had revealed in a video leading up to the event that he was going to perform a backflip, then perform another backflip straight after and put that one into a moonwalk. After Ryan's first backflip, they called Ryan done, which honestly was a sad moment. Camden tried to do some sort of corkscrew flip, which was an awesome attempt, but unfortunately he did not land it. Tom Meents would try his moonwalk to reverse flip, but unfortunately could not get it into the flip. Tristan England would perform a tombstone, but after almost flipping over, he would pull off a save that would destroy the front falling bar. Adam Anderson would place second after his jaw-dropping reverse backflip that not only was as high as Leduc's from World Finals, but also marks the second time the move has ever been performed. However, Tyler Manninger would lay down the winning move with a tombstone into moonwalk, rode it all the way up to the ramp, and pulled off a crazy twist. This jaw-dropping move would yet again net Team Nitro with the win, and Manninger was 2 for 2 in Superstar Challenge wins. Then it was time for freestyle. Immediately, fans were amazed and excited to see the return of freestanding crush cars. Yes, you heard that correctly. An assortment of cars, vans, and even a small bus was placed in between the gap of the crossover jump. More cars were placed as the secondary jump around the racing lane closest to the end of the stadium. First out was Chris Kohler, who laid down a solid run and a great backflip with huge air leaps, but unfortunately broke early. Amanu Castro laid down a respectable run with some nice air throughout and an over-rotated backflip, though he deserves an extra special mention for cruising over those crush cars.
Cruising over those crush cars. Cruising over those crush cars. Cruising over those crush cars. Cruising over those crush cars.
Jamie Sullivan laid down a solid run with not one, but two clean mini flips, but flipped over after getting crossed up on the pyramid obstacle and the down ramp. Tyler Manninger was slated to go out early, a strategic play by team captain Bari Musawa that would play out just as they anticipated. Tyler Manninger laid down an absolute heater of a run with huge air leaps, was the first to hit the mountain of cars, a perfect backflip into moonwalk, two great saves, one of which was being off a failed backflip. With this, he takes the lead and puts up a high score that Team Neon will try to thwart. Trying to top that amazing run was Lindsay Reed, making her first freestyle behind the wheel of the Lucas stabilizer. Starting off, she got some good hits in. A transfer from the crossover to the down ramp was great, but the second time she hit the jump, she landed on one of the angled jumps, causing her to land funky, which sent her into a double cartwheel and completely bent the shocks and the whole front of the truck up. She was allowed to continue briefly, though she only made one more hit, and I'm sure this was because the official wanted to actually get a good view of seeing the truck in the light. Next up was Jim Kohler, who, like Tyler, had an absolute heater of the run. Honestly, I would go as far to say it's one of Jim's best freestyles he's ever had in his monster truck career. Huge air throughout, insane momentum, an unbelievable save, and a front flip type somersault. I mean, Mr. Excitement at his finest, ladies and gentlemen. Unfortunately, it would take second to Tyler Manninger, though Team Nitro now had two of their trucks up in the top two. Todd Leduc was next to try his luck at taking the freestyle win, maybe hoping to do the Leduc loop once again, as fans have called it. While he may have been unsuccessful in even being able to get to the backflip ramp, his run was filled with awesome momentum, huge air, a crazy cross thread, and a save just 2 hits into his run, along with a crazy crash to end his amazing run. Kayla Blood would suffer electrical problems, which unfortunately ended her run before it really started to come together. The reigning world freestyle champion Colt Stevens was next to try his luck at conquering this tricky track, and it would get the best of him, as his insane cross thread, similar to Leduc's, was not as clean. He would come up short, casing the top of the crossover ramp, which would send Colt's truck flying through the air and smash the rear end into the ground, putting an end to what was shaping up to be an awesome run. After his disappointing run at the World Finals, Bryce Kenny made sure that he at the very least put down an awesome run for the Anaheim fans, and he most certainly did his best, with some great hits, but the run came to an end when he cross-threaded the pyramid jump and snapped the front tie rod. Tristan England laid down a great run that was filled with huge air, 2 saves including one from his backflip to wheelie, but with 25 seconds left, what appeared to be his brake discs briefly burst in sparks and flames mid-jump. This was not enough to take the lead away, which was still held by Tyler Menninger. Corey Rummel hit the track next with a solid run that really went all out in his final moments. Unfortunately, he clipped the crossover jump as he crushed the car pyramid, sending him into an unfavorable position that he unfortunately couldn't save. We now just had 4 trucks left, 2 from each team. Camden Murphy would have a great run despite almost getting into trouble early. He would later have a moment very similar to Jim Coller's first save, only with an added spin for extra flair. Unfortunately, he would ride out the resulting wheelie into the jump, causing him to try and save it on top of the car pyramid, but unfortunately, he didn't have enough to pull out the save. Tom Mentz's night seemed to have gone from bad to worse, as not only did he fail the stunt, lose in round 1, and was unable to pull off his reverse flip in best trick, his whole run was in first gear. However, I have to give credit where credit is due for the professor making the most out of a broken truck with a typical Mentz cyclone and a corkscrew backflip. Unfortunately, he did not have enough to make the mini flip, nor take the lead away from Tyler Menninger. Adam Anderson was second to last, but he too would go out not the way he wanted to. All it took was 2 simple hits, the second of which saw him completely destroy his front right tire and flatten the rear right, causing him to not even earn a score, with Team Nitro finishing off the freestyle competition. This meant Team Nitro were guaranteed to win freestyle no matter who won. Ryan Anderson finished off freestyle with a typical awesome Ryan Anderson run. Until it wasn't. In a heartbreaking moment, the truck seemingly shut off and was unable to finish his run, which kind of ended what has been an incredible event on a sour note. With this, Tyler Menninger wins freestyle and completely sweeps all competitions. The question then was, which team came out the victor? Well, despite Team Nitro dominating in all competitions, Team Neon had the consistency in terms of placing high in competitions, giving them the upset and crowned the points champion, closing out a memorable night of action in Anaheim. With a little more time to reflect on the event, I feel like I've casted a fair but accurate review of this event. The stunt opening the show was definitely a great way to open up, despite 1, being scary as shit in the moment, and 2, slightly humorous in hindsight.
When I say monster, you say jam, monster, monster.
Not to mention thousands, if not tens of thousands of dollars down the drain with the extensive chassis damage to both the Willman stunt truck and the Monster Jam truck especially. Knowing that Tom is okay does make this moment a little easier to watch, but it's definitely Monster Jam's gnarliest moment they've had in a long time. Racing was fairly entertaining, with some great upsets and close races, even some shocking results. Not to mention the feel-good racing finals. Best trick, I will admit, was mostly lackluster. Considering most drivers weren't even able to land their moves was pretty disappointing. In saying that though, the 2 successful attempts made up for it purely due to the unbelievable shock factor these moves gave to fans. And freestyle, I don't even know. Yes, there were some short-lived runs. There were some heartbreaking moments. There were a fair few runs that were underwhelming, either due to truck breakage or electrical issues. But holy shit, that was unbelievable. Crazy saves, crazy crashes, crazy wrecks, huge air, and crush cars. Crush cars! Fans have been salivating for them to come back for years. I mean, what more could you ask for? If this is the next direction for Monster Jam, I am all for it. This show is easily one of the best shows in recent history. It is by far the show of the year, and it by far exceeds the World Finals from Nashville. I mean, you can't even compare the two. The first Superstar Challenge was a sellout event, and justifiably everyone put on an unforgettable show that deserves high praise. Congratulations to Tyler Menninger on his clean sweep in Anaheim, breaking his Anaheim curse. And another congratulations to Kristen Anderson and all of Team Neon for taking the win at the first ever Superstar Challenge. And well, that is all we have for you today. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all soon with some more Monster Truck content.